Good morning. CCA Activity on Child Labor, Social Studies. Child labor. Child labor is generally speaking work for children that harms them or exploits them in some way, physically, mentally, morally, or by blocking access to education. It is the work that exceeds a minimum number of hours depending on the age of a child and on the education. Child labor has existed to varying extents throughout history. During the 19th and early 20th century, many children aged 5 to 14 from poor families worked in Western nations and their colonies alike. These children mainly worked in agriculture, home based assembly operations, factories, mining, and services such as newsboys. Some worked night shifts lasting 12 hours. With the rise of household incomes, availability of schools, and passage of child labor laws, the incidence rates of child labor fell. In the world's poorest countries, around 1 in 4 children are engaged in child labor, the highest number of whom 29% live in sub-Saharan Africa. In 2017, four African nations, Mali, Benin, Chad, and Guinea-Bissau, witnessed over 50% of children aged 5 to 14 years working. Worldwide, agriculture is the largest employer of child labor. The vast majority of child labor is found in rural settings and informal urban economies. Children are predominantly employed by their parents rather than factories. Poverty and lack of schools are considered the primary case of child labor. Globally, the incidence of child labor decreased from 25% to 10% between 1960 to 2003, according to the World Bank. Nevertheless, the total number of child laborers remains high, with UNICEF and ILO acknowledging an estimated 168 million children aged 5 to 17 worldwide were involved in child labor in 2013. Primary causes. International Labour Organization ILO suggests poverty is the greatest single cause behind child labor. For impoverished households, income from a child's work is usually crucial for his or her own survival or for that of the household. Income from working children, even if small, may be between 25 to 40% of this household income. Other schools, such as ours on African child labor, the Edmonds and Pavkenk on global child labor, have reached the same conclusion. The latest ILO global estimates on child labor indicate that Africa has the largest number of child laborers, 72.1 million African children are estimated to be in child labor and 31.5 million in hazardous work. In Arab states, children and young adults make up half the population of 280 million. An estimated 13.4 million, or about 15% of all the children in the region, are child laborers. The children of Asia and the Pacific under the age of 15 years in Asia and the Pacific declined by 5 million to 122.3 million from 2000 to 2004. Latin America children there were still 5.7 million working girls and boys who are under the minimum age for employment. According to certain experts, approximately 10 million bonded children laborers are working as dom in South Asia. Beyond this, there are almost 55 million bonded child laborers hired across various other industries. Less than 5% of child laborers make products for export to other countries. Where does most child labor occur? In all the seven continents. Child labor in India. India accounts for the second highest number of child labor in the world. Africa accounts for the highest number of children employed and exploited. According to certain experts, approximately 10 million bonded children laborers are working as domestic servants in India. Beyond this, there are almost 55 million bonded child laborers hired across various other industries. Regulation and Prohibition Act. Know Your Rights. This was declared by the Parliament on 23rd December 1986. It includes prohibition prohibition of employment of children in certain occupations and processes. No child shall be employed or permitted to work in any of the occupations which are hazardous by its nature. This is how child labor affects the nation. Exploitative child labor is poor wages and ineffective education, that's deteriorating labor standards, and adult unemployment, low level of unionization, family poverty. Say no to child labor. Stop child labor. Thank you.